Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Linguistic Journeys. I'm your host, Simon Del Toziak, and today's episode is about two powerful methods in language acquisition, or to combine them. Those two powerful methods are immersion and structured learning. We have talked a lot about the benefits of immersion, but the truth is that most successful language learners blend both immersive experiences with more traditional study techniques. So let's dive into how you can strike the right balance to maximize your learning. As we have discussed before, immersion is one of the fastest ways to improve fluency. It forces you to think into language, respond quickly, and adapt to real-world situations. By surrounding yourself into language, you get natural exposure to the rhythm, pronunciation, and social cues that are crucial to effective communication. But immersion on its own has its limit. Without a structured approach, you may struggle with understanding certain grammatical rules or expanding your vocabulary beyond what's immediately useful in everyday interaction. It is possible to develop fluency in casual conversations to immersion, but when it comes to more complex topics like academic writing or professional communication, immersion may not be enough. That's where structured learning comes in. Structured learning, whether it is in a classroom setting, to self-study or using language apps, provides the foundation you need to master a language. It helps you understand the grammar, syntax, and vocabulary in a more systematic way. You gain a broader perspective onto language, learning the rules that native speakers may know instinctively but rarely explain. For example, grammar might be something you pick up slowly to immersion, but structured lessons allow you to speed up the process by giving you clear explanations of how the language works. You also get access to a wider range of vocabulary beyond just what's useful in daily life. Structured study gives you the tools to understand and engage with more specialized or formal topics, which are harder to come across in everyday conversation. The real magic happens when you combine immersion with structured study. When you study grammar and vocabulary in a structured way, you give yourself a framework to understand what you are hearing in immersive situations. It's like learning the rules of a game before stepping onto the field. You know how things work, and that makes it easier for you to play and for you to interact in real time. For example, let's say you have learned a new grammatical structure in a textbook or classroom. You can then apply that knowledge in immersive settings, listening to how native speakers use that structure in real life conversation. The immersive experience helps reinforce the lesson, and over time it becomes second nature. Conversely, conservatively, conversely, immersion can provide context for what you learn in structured study. A textbook might teach you a rule, but immersion helps you see how native speakers bend or break that rule in casual speech. By observing language in action, you can develop a more nuanced understanding of how it is actually used. So, how do you find the right balance between immersion and structured study? Here are a few practical tips. First, set specific goals for both methods. Use structured study to focus on specific areas where you need improvement, whether that is mastering a particular tense, expanding your vocabulary, or improving pronunciation. Then, use immersion to practice what you have learned in natural settings. For example, if you have just learned how to form past tense, make it a point to practice using your conversation. By example, if you just learned how to use past tense, utilize this knowledge in your real life conversation by bringing something else to the past, by connecting you to events we're talking about to the past, which will allow you to use the past tense that you just learned. Schedule time for each approach is the second method, practical tip. While full immersion is ideal in theory, it is not always possible in our daily lives. Set aside time for structured study, whether that's through a language class, app, apps, or workbook, and complement that with immersion activities like watching movies, listening to podcasts, or speaking with native speakers. Balance is key. Don't overload yourself with just one method. Number three, use immersion to supplement structured learning. This complete the three first I just said. Structured learning often comes with exercises and assignments that can feel rigid. Break out of that by using immersion activities to bring those lessons to life. If you're learning new vocabularies, try watching a show or reading an article that uses those words in context. Number four, track your progress. Tracking your progress is always useful. It is showing you what you did right and what you did wrong, and you can learn from that and apply that knowledge further in life. The long-term benefits of a balanced approach. Ultimately, balancing immersion with structured learning gives you the best of both worlds. Immersion helps you become more fluent and intuitive with the language, while structured learning provides the tools to understand its deeper mechanism. The long-term benefits of this approach are huge. You're not just learning to get by into language, you're developing a mastery that can be applied in a variety of contexts, from casual conversations to academic or professional settings. It also makes you a more adaptable language learner, and you can apply this knowledge to many more languages. As you move between immersive environments and structured study, you'll develop the flexibility to switch between different language registers, from formal to informal, from technical to conversational. In the end, successful language learning isn't about choosing one method over another. It is about blending immersion with structured study. It is about bringing all what you know together to communicate, to make your point cost away efficiently. Immersion gives you real-world practice and fluency, while structured learning builds a strong foundation into language's rule and structures. Thank you for turning into linguistic journeys. If you're on a language learning journey, I encourage you to experience with both methods and find the right balance for you. Keep an eye on how you are progressing, and remember that learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Until now, keep listening, keep reading, and stay curious. Stay tuned for another episode. Bye bye.